What's up guys, Brian Danoff here, welcome back to my channel. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. I have never been able to say that before on this channel. I've been making YouTube videos about the Yankees for about 15 years. The first video I ever made was in December 2009 when the Yankees acquired Curtis Granderson.
I don't know about you guys, but I love this trade. 30 home runs, 75 RBIs, 20 stolen bases. This guy's fast. He's powerful. Yeah, his average was 250, but it'll probably go up along with his home run numbers because they're playing in Yankee Stadium. So he might even hit 40 home runs next year.
And that was basically the first thing they did after winning the World Series that year. As I've talked about before on this channel, my uncle took me to Game 6 at Yankee Stadium. I witnessed in person the heroics of Hideki Matsui. I saw Mariano Rivera get Shane Victorino to ground out to Robinson Cano, and it was the team's 27th title. And, never did I think that number 28 would still elude the Yankees, all the way up through 2024. And it's been described as, the chase for 28. That's kind of what it's been branded as, I think even as far back as like 2010. And safe to say the chase, has become more of a very, very long marathon. But the finish line is in sight, I guess you could say. It's a very weird feeling. It's a very good feeling overall, for sure. I ran out, already got the hat, had to do it. Such a exhilarating couple of days with what happened in the ALCS in Cleveland. It was honestly kind of like a blur. Really the three games kind of blended together in my head.
Get out of me! Nobody's messing with your head. Get out of me! Nobody's messing with your head, man. Nobody's messing with your head.
Before I kind of went back and sort of looked back at what happened. When the Yankees won the division series against Kansas City, I obviously was confident going into the championship series against Cleveland, but I didn't feel like this team was looking like a championship team. I remember 2009. I've obviously watched 15 other World Series runs since then, not involving the Yankees, obviously. And you can see, teams have these magic moments, and teams have these clutch moments, and they have unsung heroes, and they beat the Royals, but this was at the same time as across town the Mets.
I gotta be honest, I can't get a beat on you, man.
Were upsetting the Phillies and having these dramatic comeback wins and these huge home runs. The crowd was electric, and there was a lot left to be desired if you were a Yankees fan going into the ALCS. And they won the first two games in similar fashion, where it's like they won, but you weren't feeling amazing about them, at least in my opinion. And we got to Cleveland for Game 3, and sort of everything changed. The Yankees don't have to recap the whole series. You guys know what happened. But Game 3, they came back, Judge and Stanton back to back. Then they get walked off. Luke Weaver blows the save, and then Clay Holmes gives up that 2-run home run to David Fry. But then Game 4, Stanton hits that big home run to go ahead, 6-2, I think it was. And then Guardians tie it up. Yankees scratch a few runs, across the board in the ninth, and hold on. And then Game 5, the Juan Soto game, top of the 10th, Hunter Gaddis, he fouls off. I don't remember how many pitches exactly, but just kept fighting, and eventually got a pitch to hit, even though it was like at his chest, if not his neck, and just flicked it out, 400 feet to dead center, basically. Just insane stuff. And you couple that with really, the bullpen coming up huge, Got, like I said, Weaver and Holmes for the most part have been amazing. Jake Cousins, Tommy Canely, even Mark Leiter Jr. getting some big outs.
You forgot your
Tim Hill.
Thanks.
And besides Soto, besides Stanton, you do have guys like Gleyber Torres setting the table, just constantly getting on base. Anthony Rizzo.
Oh, oh! You don't talk to your mother like that, Christopher.
Playing with a broken fingers. He's actually hitting better than he has really in almost 2 years. Anthony Volpe's had really good at bats. Austin Wells, has kind of been cold for the most part, but they moved him down in the order and he went yard in Cleveland. Really kind of the only one who's like ice cold is unfortunately Jazz Chisholm, who I grew to really like since he got here in that trade with the Marlins. But for the most part, the offense has been doing its job in terms of like the supplemental pieces, and then you have Soto and Stanton just like carrying. And Aaron Judge is not doing terribly, for sure. He's had a couple of clutch hits already this postseason, but he's still not hitting like Aaron Judge. And to me, as I go into this World Series against the Dodgers, that's obviously the key. That's the key. I like where the Yankees team is as a whole. I don't want to predict that they'll win this series. Vegas has the Dodgers as the favorites, and I can see why. They have home field advantage. Their offense has been scoring even more than the Yankees have by I think, a pretty solid margin, actually. And, their bullpen looked great against the Mets. It definitely did. But the Yankees I think the Yankees bullpen ERA in the postseason is actually lower than the Dodgers. And then when you compare the rotations, the Dodgers barely have a rotation right now. They have a 3-man rotation of, I think it's Yamamoto, Walker Buehler, and Jack Flaherty, who they got at the trade deadline, who the Yankees also were, right there trying to acquire as well. But the Yankees have Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt, and they're getting Nestor Cortez back. Probably not as a starter, or at most he would be like, a 40-50 pitch inning, 40-50 pitch inning, pitch limit kind of guy. So he could be a really solid weapon that the Yankees did not have before. And, I think the teams neither team is perfect. Neither team is the 98 Yankees. Neither team is the 27 Yankees, but I think there's obviously still a lot of star power on both sides. It's going to be amazing to see Shohei Ohtani in the World Series. Not as amazing to me as it'll be to see Aaron Judge in the World Series. But, it's going to be, it's the matchup MLB has been dreaming about and salivating over the entire year, and understandably so. I think it's going to be a really, really good series that'll hopefully go 6 or 7 games no matter what happens. I'll take a Yankee sweep, but I don't think that's going to happen. And, I am just trying to kind of stay as even-keeled as I can. Trying to really soak up and enjoy just making it to the World Series, because, it's been a long road. It's been a long 15 years.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
This is serious.
I know. This really is the world's smallest violin. See?
And I know, to anyone who's not a Yankees fan, to anyone whose team has a longer championship drought than that, it's going to sound insane, but 15 years is 15 years. And almost every single year, to the Yankees' credit, they've been in it, and to quote Ted Lasso,
It's the hope that kills you. Y'all know that?
and I know he doesn't agree with that quote, but I do. It's been pretty soul crushing almost every year watching a pretty solid to great Yankees team make it into the postseason and then just fall flat for whatever reason it might be. Be it the Astros cheating, or the bats going cold, the bullpen getting overworked, the starting pitching not delivering. You name it, it's happened. It's happened to the Yankees in the playoffs every year since 2009, and it makes it really difficult every year when the season ends. It hurts a lot, and because you did believe and you did have faith that this team could do it. And I certainly have that feeling about this team right now. But they've gotten closer than any other team has, which is crazy when you look at the other teams of the past. The early 2010s Yankees were sacked. The 2017 Yankees obviously had a lot of just magic to that team, and 2019 when they were the next man up kind of guys, and 2022 in the first half they looked just as good as the 2024 Yankees, but obviously completely fell apart with injuries and some really bad trades at the trade deadline. There's already this growing group of fans on Twitter, of like baseball fans, who are like, oh my god, the Yankees in the World Series is my worst nightmare. Yankees Dodgers is such a terrible matchup, and Yankee fans, how can they even enjoy this when they're always good and they're always in the playoffs? I just explained it to you.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I mean, it's just because you're in the playoffs doesn't mean when the season ends you go, oh great, we made the playoffs. It's never easy watching your team go down in the postseason, and I've seen it happen a lot, and I might be about to watch it happen again. But I'm just really gonna try to enjoy this World Series as much as I can. I'm sure by the second the first pitch is thrown in Game 1, I will be back in my, anxious, terrified state that I am in the postseason every year. But it's just been so long since the Yankees were here. It feels so good that they're finally back. I love how everyone's mad that the Yankees are in the World Series. It's great. You had a 15-year break. I think that was long enough. It was way long, way too long, actually. And after everything that some of the players in that locker room have been through together, after everything us fans have had to witness the last 15 years, this just feels really, really good, and it feels right. And gonna try to enjoy it to the fullest, regardless of the outcome. But certainly if they lose, I'll be pretty depressed and pretty heartbroken and very unsure about the future of the team, given Juan Soto's impending free agency and a lot of other things. But for now, the Yankees are the American League champions, and hopefully in a couple weeks I can say that they are also World Series champions once again for the 28th time. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. If you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed, please do. I think I'm pretty cool, even though I just sort of rambled about the Yankees into a camera for 20 minutes by myself. But you watched it. So who's the real nerd? But yeah, thanks again, guys, and stay tuned for more videos, because like I said, I have been waiting 15 years to make Yankees World Series videos, and trust me, I'm gonna take advantage of that finally. So yeah, see you guys next time. Go Yankees. Let's go win a World Series.